All right, believe it or not, we're getting to some of the final steps to this project. I got done sewing my project, so now I'm turning it inside out. And when you turn it inside out, you're going to be able to see how your basting stitches or your running stitches turned out. And if when you start to pull it apart, you see that there's some areas that are really loose, like right in here, you can go back and re-sew that. So I would just go back and just put a couple extra stitches in there, because those kind of things are what I'm going to look for to kind of say, okay, that wasn't very good stitching there. They could have gone back and fixed that. Now I'm going to go take it to iron, and we'll learn how to do the last type of stitch. Okay, so I went and I took and I ironed out my entire pillow once I turned it inside out, and I have checked all my seams. And just to point out one more time, this area here, if I see this kind of thing, and I purposely did this so you guys would know, that needs to go back and be restitched. So if I see that on your final, I'm probably going to take off a few points because I can see where there's no stitch there. But for this demonstration, I'm going to move forward. Okay, so I took, and you probably saw this in the video that I had, there's a link on the Weebly, but you take the edge of the seam and you iron it, and then once again I took this edge here and folded it and ironed it. Then I'm going to take my pins and I'm going to pin it. Put your pins in these containers, and you're just going to take and pin it, and when you pin it, you want to pin it back just a little bit. So I'm just going to put a couple pins on the sides here so it doesn't come unraveled. And then I'm going to take my polyfill. I'll be really careful on these ends here. You really got to tuck them in. Pin there. Going about a 1/4 inch with that pin. And I'm just going to put a couple pins in just to secure my corners don't come unfolded. And then I'm going to stuff it. Alright, so I've got a good amount of stuffing here. You don't want too much because we don't have a whole lot. If you want your pillow to be stuffed anymore, then go to Joann's and buy a bag of polyfill. Otherwise, be moderate on your stuffing so that we have enough for everybody. Alright, so here I have my pillow. I'm just kind of putting in the stuffing. You want to make sure that stuffing goes in nice and even and gives it enough puff, but doesn't pull or separate the stitches. I'm just kind of pushing it into the corners here real good. Trying to make sure it gets right into those corners. And I'm going to continue doing this, and then I'll show you how to sew. Okay, so I've got my pillow stuffed. About 1 bag of polyfill will do about 2 pillows. When you start, you're going to start like you did with your other stitches, where you're going to just tie the knot. And you're going to see that I've got both these flaps pinned together. And what you're going to do with this, what we call slip stitch or a blind stitch, is you're going to go on one side. So I'm going to go from the Batik side, and it's real small. Pull that through. And then you go back to the other side, which I have a tan color. You can see how I did that. And I'm going to go on that side. Then I'm going to go just to the inside of the fold. Take your time on all your stitching. Do small stitches so you don't have to go back and redo them. And you're going to see, I'm going to go back over to this side, just to the inside of the fold. And what happens is this blind stitch kind of pulls the two seams together, and you'll see that you can't see that there's a seam here at all. It's kind of fun. And to the inside, and then I'm just going to go grab again to the inside. And you want, once again, keep those stitches really small. And I'm just grabbing the inside where I ironed. You can kind of see how that's getting put together. You want to go all the way across with this, with the closest stitching you can, and then tie it off at the end. And you should be all set. And that'd be the last part of this Batik project. Once again, you can probably plan, I'm thinking, probably a good 3 days just to stitch it. If you're going any faster than that, then you need to see what the quality of your stitches look like. Alright, so that's the blind stitch, okay, also called a slip stitch. And we are done. That's a 5-minute video.